Give me just a second, everybody. Trying to adjust something really fast. And of course, it's not working with me. Give me just a second. Trying to get there. Well, I have to go back and fix it later. I don't know why it won't let me do what I'm trying to do. Why? It doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, there it goes. Share it really fast. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Breaking the Cage. It is Astrology TV with the Matrix Mind Media, and I love each and every one of you. Oh, let me put comments on. So if I have time to see them, and while I'm in the middle of talking, I will try to answer, but I usually don't, because in between the channeling and the information, I don't want to lose track. But so I'm saying hi now. With that being said, this is an important week. It's a power pivot week, really. Let me stop and go back for just a minute. At the end of the week, and I didn't post anything about it on the information, but I will go back and post about it. And if you're seeing the video right now, the show right now, I do on the 22nd of every month, I put out like a global healing for everyone, and it's so easy to take part. You don't have to do anything. I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. You can do it in your own energy with, through prayer, through rituals, through energy healing, through your spirit guides, through asking of your angels. And what it is it's called Nobody Suffers Alone Anymore. And it's a global healing event I do on the 22nd of every month. And I've been doing it probably for about 5-6 years now. It originally began because I used to work in a military commissary. And there is definitely where I used to work was right in back of the area was graveyard. And so I had always was picking up military energy from beyond while I was at work. And when I was going through part of my healing energy and learning and growing, the spirits that would come to me often said, because I was trying to bring out positive healing for the rest of the world, they were like, why don't you start a global healing that you do every month? And it is called Nobody Suffers Alone, but it's because it's in memory of all of those who've passed, who were forgotten, who were not, did not have anybody there for them. And the global healing event is trying to heal, send healing energy, positive energy, whether it is in prayer or because you are a healer, because you know how to manipulate energy, you're dealing with your guides, angels, whatever. And I will put it out. It is going to be on the 22nd. It is all day long. It is not with time zones. It is with, technically the way that I created it with spirit was, it is created to be with angel numbers. So it is angel numbers, but it can be worked with time, but therefore it is not in a time zone. So that's making the energy go much longer and further. And it is saying, let's give healing energy to all who need it, whether it is animals, whether it is humans, whether it is plant life or Earth herself. And I believe that the times for that is 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock at night, and at 2 o'clock morning, 2 o'clock at night, or afternoons. And yeah, it's 11, 2, and 7. And all you do is you take a little bit of your precious time and you either send the prayer, you ask your spirit guides, whatever. If you know how to manipulate energy, you just take a little bit of your precious time and you send some healing out to your guides, to your ancestors, because they know where to send it. You don't. And help bring the energy of healing anywhere and everywhere it needs to be. Like I said, there is no time zones. And I will go back and post about it, so you'll be able to find it on my personal page and not here on the Matrix Mind. But as I was coming in to start this, my guides were like, no, you're forgetting about that. So I had to start off with that. And like I said, you'll be able to find that on my actual Facebook page and so forth. I'll go back and I'll make a meme for it and put that out in reminder, the 22nd, and follow those times or angel numbers, and send healing wherever you can. Nobody suffers alone anymore. There's no need for it. Now, with that being said, let me jump into just a little bit of other stuff. All of you Matrix Minds, I love you guys, and you know that. And if you do go on to my Etsy page, LSF Sanctuary, if you want to purchase anything there, remember, if you put in Matrix Minds at Matrix Minds in all capitals, not all products, but some products are 20% off. So again, I have my Etsy shop. LSF Sanctuary is the Etsy shop, LLC. And you want to put in coupon code of Matrix Minds, all caps, or you will not get that 20% off. And it's not on everything, but it is on some things. Now, with that being said, you will see other information in case you're interested in readings or, mentorship or anything along that line, because I do hour sessions and I can book them with you. But outside of that, let's get back to breaking the cage. Let me have a sip of my drink real fast. This is definitely a power week, a power pivot. This is for June 17th through the 23rd. Now, you just came off of a full moon in Capricorn, and I know you guys are feeling that energy. And what I mean is, it's not just the Capricorn full moon or the new moon is going to be coming in next week in Cancer. What you're feeling is Jupiter is in shadow. Jupiter is abundance, manifestation, higher knowledge in Aries. I want what I want, and I want it right now. I want to begin something new, but I don't want to put the effort in to figure it out how to do it. I just want it. Jupiter is the manifestation, the higher knowledge. He's here with Eris. He's here with Chiron, the new beginning, the new cycles, and he's in shadow. He's getting ready to go retrograde on the 28th. That's my birthday, people. It is a brand new beginning. This is why I can remember it. Jupiter is going retrograde. You have the new moon that's going to take place in Cancer coming right off of that full moon Capricorn, and everything is hitting below the belt. Everything is coming up in abundance, blowing up in your face, whether it's good or bad. Everything is showing itself because Jupiter is doing this. Jupiter is going, hey, did you get the memo? Hey, did you catch the memo? Because once he goes into retrograde, it's not going to be shadow anymore. It's going to be retrograde. And then it is purely inward thinking. And this is important. Aries is a fire energy. It is a good place to make new beginnings. But at the same time, with Eris here, who I always call Medusa, trouble, toil, strife, and with Chiron here, the wounded healer, it automatically is saying we are having problems coming into that brand new world. It's because we still are holding on to too much vampire syndrome. That's what I like to call it. I call it vampire syndrome in the form of, I'm going to sink my teeth into this and I'm just going to keep on draining it until there ain't nothing left to drain. And then I'm still going to keep on draining it, even though I know it's not good for me anymore, because something new is just weird. And nobody wants vampire syndrome. This is a week of the heart must go on. And it's so funny because freaking for the last 2 weeks, I have my guide singing to me. And if you guys know anything about me, I am not a Celine Dion person. I'm having like Disney Celine Dion singing, it's a whole new world. And the song, The Heart Must Go On. But what they're trying to get through so that I can bring out these videos is, yes, I said a couple weeks ago, I kept getting them singing to me, Snoop Dogg, it's a new episode. It's a new world. But that means you've got to let go of the old one. Too many of us are still in vampire syndrome. It's the only thing we know. And I can't say enough times, everybody, that it's not that we want it. We don't want that old world. But getting treated right, getting given the love you deserve, changing the way society has taught you what is and is not acceptable. When we start doing the things that are right for us, that's freaking foreign. We're like, what? I don't know how to handle that. Well, of course you don't. You were trained wrong. Kind of like training your dragon. This is about inner emotional security versus true physical reality security. And this whole brand new world, brand new beginning has to do with inner emotional security and understanding the three-dimensional world is real. You do have to deal with it. But if you really want to be able to balance your higher dimensions, you have to understand nobody stays in just 3D. We get positive energies, we get higher vibrational energies, we rise up in our energies, and then something knocks us down and brings us right back down. And then we rise, we fluctuate. Just like your aura doesn't stay the same, your vibration doesn't stay the same, depending on how you deal with your emotional indifferences. And you're dealing with, this week, the moon. On top of it, you got Venus moving like tonight. And I can't say enough times, Venus is not love. Venus is your emotional and your emotional and your physical senses. She's talking to you about everything that makes you feel good and why you want more of it, why you can trust it, how you can create it, and covertly is what they just said, communicate it. Versus Venus is telling you everything that is betrayal, lies, denial, sabotage. And she's moving into Cancer. Oh, holy, holy, holy. This could be incredibly great or incredibly bad. Cancer is one of the number one empaths. And the problem with being a number one empath is because 90% of the time, you are becoming other people in the crowd. It's what I call the chameleon. You start to feel the energy. Have you ever been in a group of people and you start going along with whatever is going on in the energy? Like they're all talking shit about this. It could be good, could be bad, but usually it's probably bad. They're all talking about this. They all have their opinions. They're going in this direction. And before you know it, you're agreeing. And then when you get home, you're like, why? Why was I that is the chameleon. The chameleon's job as an empath is to mirror back to you the truth. But the problem with the chameleon is you forget who you are. And it's saying right now, with Venus moving into Cancer, you got Mercury moving into Leo. You have the sun at the end of the week going into Leo season. The fourth house is what this is all about because of the Cancer new moon coming next week, speaking to you about your inner emotional security as well as your three-dimensional security. And can you bring those higher realms, that higher dimensional thinking, back to this three-dimensional realm and then manifest it into this world? Or will you get caught in the hiccup of the vampire syndrome and holding on to everything you've always known because it's the only thing you know? They're saying this should be a completion of a cycle. They're giving me the number 10, but they're saying it's finding the way that they're giving it to me because they always do it off of words that I've written down. And this is saying, because what they're giving me is, and then it goes with someone else. All right, I got it. Okay. Is, could you find your own inner Holy Ghost? Let me give it to you the way that they explained it to me earlier, and that was a reminder to turn my page back. I love my guys. They're just so funny. Your inner emotional security versus your three-dimensional security. You know your superheroes that you love, or your super villains that you love? You know why you love them? Think of it in the way of the closest thing I know how to connect your superhero in the three-dimensional world, because we watch them in the movies, we read them in the comics, we have our stories and our ideas of what the superhero is. The closest thing I know that truly comes out as a superhero, and that boldly expression is drag queens. And the reason I say that is because what is a drag queen? Freaking over the top. So are you over the top in yourself, in your own spirit, in your own violet flame, in your own Holy Ghost? Are you? See, the reason why is because as we grow and we change in this three-dimensional world, and we're holding on to this crap of the three-dimensional, you have to realize in one form, that is nothing more than a spell. A spell of can you rise above it? Everything you create, you bring into your reality. This is only as real as your mind is making it. However, it is real because your mind can't unmake it real. But when you rise into those higher vibrations, you start to realize everything that you are capable of. Superheroes and supervillains are explosive in their energy because they got the freaking balls to be who they are. But it's also because they have the weight of the world, or my plans will foil, when they're being the villain. They have the weight of so much on them. When we were young and little, we didn't have the weight. We were still free. Our inner child was able to be carefree. But we lose that, and we kind of have to do what I call the inverted dragon. You have to learn to be above and below at the same time. Go all the way around the tree. You have to be able to honor both your ego and your soul, and know when you're allowing your ego to screw you so that you can grow. So are you getting in your power or not? Are you in denial of that explosion, of that extreme energy of finding your true power, your true soul, your true fire? Are you coming back to you? And I can say this because I am one who, and I'm getting ready to get into the blueprint, but I can say this because for those who do follow astrology, the 12th house is one of the hardest houses. Now, the way that my planetary energy is, I'm a Cancer moon, a Leo sun, and a Virgo rising. I go through 3 months of every sign, and then dealing with who I deal with, Grim, and a whole lot of my darker energies for that shamanism of making sure we're clearing the cycles completely, because that's the 12th house. I live there, people. If anybody knows the darkness, I'm got you covered. And I am telling you, there's so much going on in there of our own denials that we don't know. Everybody knows that I've been dealing with my mother going through so much lately. And it was just brought to my attention how I thought I was being strong. And they're like, no, honey, you're in fear out of your ass because of how much you love her. You're making it worse because you were so overprotective. That's not love. They were like, you're making it worse because of your fear. You've got to realize where you need to grow. And that was my lesson. There's so often we don't know what we don't know yet. And you have to just keep walking the path. I say when I do shaman work, and I say when I do the hollow bone, I put it in the idea of the Shawshank Redemption. For anybody who's seen the movie, at the end of the movie, he went to jail. He served time. He was a good person. He didn't commit the crime, but he learned how to be, a criminal while he was in jail, and actually made himself clean as he crawled through a river of shit to come clean on the other side. That is the hollow bone. You have to face down all of this darkness within you so that you can rip that bitch into the light. It's also bat medicine. It's feeling your way through your horrifying truths so that you can come clean on the other side. All right. It's about finding the true you, not the mediocre three-dimensional that you've been living. It's time for a brand new world. It's time to get really real with who and all you are. With that being said, the blueprint. Before I get into the astrology and help walk you through that, I always go through the blueprint because I want everybody to understand what it does with the physical body. And I explain this all the time because I literally over the last year rewrote astrological anatomy, placing it with the chakras and putting your planets in the body where they are for a personal blueprint. On a universal blueprint that is always moving. It is always speaking to you in the body about the chakras and whatnot that you are holding on to, baggage of, and where you're not allowing the energy to heal. And then as those energies move, they do more. Now, the sun typically speaks to you about your heart and your spine, your vitality. It's leaving Cancer and it's going into Leo at the end of the week. But throughout the whole week, it's still in the chest energy itself. So is Mercury. Mercury is the way your brain works. It is the two sides of your body. It is how you communicate, how how to blink. It's the way that you communicate. So all the communication, all of the heart is definitely in the chest, slamming you right now. So if you're feeling heavier, it's because of the denials that you're still in. If your chest is feeling harder to breathe, most likely it's the denials of the soul self, the ego, where you're not facing it. Let me give you a true understanding. I was saying this to somebody. I was doing shaman work the other day on somebody and doing healing. And I was like, this is a freaking raw energy. And this is where I'm going these days. If you can't get raw with your life and the world around you and really get real, then get out of my face. Okay? Because we have to get to this part if we're going to come and scrub ourselves clean. Rub ourselves raw until we're so clean and true and vibrationally vibrant. You have to face down all parts of you. And I was saying to them, because again, I'll go there with you, how I am dealing with my mother and everything she's been going through it. She's at age 80. And as I was explaining to this man the work that we were doing, I was like, I want you to understand, I'll use myself as an example. I was like, we have to get so real with our ego so that we can love it back to right. By understanding where it is harming us. I was like, I'm dealing with an 80-year-old woman, and there's nothing in the world that I want more for than to heal her and to make her better. I never want to lose her. She's my mom. I want her with me forever. I know that's not possible, but come on, that's what you want. And at the very same time, all I want is for her to die. It's not that I want it, it's my ego does. My ego is tired. My ego hurts. My ego wants to not have to go through pain anymore. But I don't want to lose her. But if you're going to get real with yourself, you have to get real. It's called fucking being raw for a reason, so that you can heal. You have to honor all parts of you. And that means the parts that this three-dimensional world is screwing you up. And this is where my guides are taking me, because they're going to make me get raw as hell with everybody from here on out, because they want to see you come into this brand new world. They want to see you survive and be vibrant and full of love. This blueprint is sitting right now, coming through the chest, on the heart, your actual life force energy. The communication of, are you being honest with your life force, is what's going to help you understand if you're healing it. As we move into Venus, going into Cancer, it is sitting on the diaphragm. Hello, that's the energy you breathe in. The energy you breathe in. You don't just digest food, you digest energy. Are you breathing in energies that are harming you? Like I was, beating up on myself and making it worse. Or am I going to get my ass in that higher dimensional world and start manifesting and changing and helping bringing the healing that I'm supposed to, because I'm a freaking shaman and that's my job. What is yours? Lilith is sitting in the actual digestion. It's in the gastric energy. And how is it working through the energy to be released? Then we go into Mars. Oh, I forgot to write that one down. I can't tell you. Then we go into Uranus, and Uranus is sitting with the the North Node this week. That everything you need to learn in order to move forward. Everything you need to learn about your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, and where are you in it and where are you not? Where are you self-sabotaging? Where are you giving your power away? Where do you not even know what your power is? Where do you not know you anymore? It is sitting in the throat chakra about what you say about yourself, as well as that zeal point, which opens you up to the psychic attacks, and it's sitting on the lymph nodes in the neck, creating that friction of how you're capable of actually moving and being flexible. Jupiter is on the cheekbones. Now, the cheekbones don't sound like it's that big of a deal, but remember, it takes 3 times the amount of energy and bones to make you smile than it does to frown. So, are you in warrior? Or are you breathing life into you? And I'm always talking recently about that inverted dragon energy, and that's because when we look at ourselves, we look at ourselves as the crown chakra, and then we work our way all the way down. But see, mainstream stops right at the torso, and that's the root. But you have chakras that are going all the way to the feet, and the feet chakras up to the torso are all about your ego. So are you going all the way through the body, or are you only bothering to deal with from the torso up? Because you should be blessing your feet. You should be telling your leg, are you having ankle problems? Because that Saturn rules walls and boundaries in your ankles and your calves, telling you where you're screwing up those rules, walls, and boundaries, where you're not shifting them. Your feet is Neptune, where you're creating the same magic again, especially if you keep stubbing your toes or keep walking into things. If your knee keeps giving out on you, that's Pluto telling you that you're not spiritually becoming who you are. You're afraid of it. There's a part of you that's still afraid. This is why I'm saying the inverted dragon means we're clearing out from the low ego vibrations all the way up to the top. We're not half-assing it anymore. There's no more time for half-assing it. It's a whole new world. Are you getting on board or not? This is why I started telling y'all, Starfleet, I love you guys. I want to see you get here. All right, let's get into the energy. The moon is going to be talking to everybody as he moves through Pisces, into Aries, into Taurus, and then into Gemini this week. He is literally sitting on the most private and unconscious energies. Your most private, hidden parts of yourself where you question your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, who and what you are, and how you communicate with it. The moon is asking this as it moves through and it starts questioning all the planets. Then, like I said, you have Venus that's moving into Cancer, into the empath of all empaths, into the energy of the mirror. Will you lose you or not? You have Lilith here who is going, I'm wondering if you'll be submissive or if you'll really come into independence. And the new moon that's coming next week, you have Mercury and the Sun moving into Leo. You have very few opportunities this week. Lately, it has been sextile after sextile after sextile, but this week, nope, they closed down. You have 2. Sextiles mean there's a lot of opportunities, but yet we usually get comfortable and are you going to actually go through it with it? The opportunities that are here this week are powerful, but there's not many of them. They are powerful, but you've got to be in that extreme energy of that drag queen, of that superhero, that supervillain, and know who you are in order to make these changes. Will you confront yourself and become who you've always been? Or at least take the step in that direction. You have Neptune in the 12th house. Grief, sorrow, shame, blame, insecurities, the skeletons in the closet, everything that needs to be healed, but I don't really want to talk about that. I'd rather forget about it and put it back in a closet and let the skeletons make more skeletons in the closet. Neptune is your magic. He doesn't care if it's positive or negative. He'll create what you feed him. And what he's begging for the healing to happen so that that first house of Aries can bring it into fruition. But it won't be easy because you have a bunch of questions going on in Aries. That Neptune energy is talking directly with Pluto. Though I walk through the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I do not have to worry about what that outer world says because I create my own reality. I have the vibration to do anything I want because I believe in me and I can do it. I can make my vibration work for me. But do you believe it? Because if you don't, it'll work against you because it'll go through a cycle all over again. So this is the time to believe in yourself. Mars in the 2nd house is not getting along with Lilith. And I've been saying for a month now, Lilith is moving, she's just creeping along here in Cancer. The inner emotional security, the home, the vessel itself. Are you going to let somebody else take over the vessel? Are you going to let somebody else be in charge and responsible for what the vessel does to tell you how your vessel is going to live? Your inner emotional security comes from knowing your power, knowing you, reclaiming it through all space and time. It's not, it's getting along with Mars in that second house, but Mars isn't really powerful in the 2nd house. He was much more powerful last month. The aggression, the passion, the action was ready to come out. Now it's just stubborn bullheadedness. So is it ego or is it soul? You do have you have trines this week that are very powerful. But like I said, this is definitely challenging. Do you know who you are? Because you're about to begin again. And what are you making happen with that new moon next week? The Sun is getting along great with Neptune, which is also speaking to the South Node. The Sun is going from the 4th house to the 5th, coming out of your inner emotional security, the roots in who and what you are, what created you to be who you are, whether it's good or bad, and will you overcome it to be the best you can be, soulfully. But it's not getting, it's getting along with Neptune and Juno, if you're believing you're illuminating, the sun is not, it's the sun, Mercury actually in Sirius. The sun is not always positive. Like when you read tarot, people think the sun is, you know, a positive, like it's a brand new thing, it's a good thing, the sun is shining on you. The sun is illuminating, but it's illuminating from the 4th house and coming into the 5th house. It's illuminating, are you secure or not? Why are you secure and why are you not? Then it's going into the creativity where the manifestation is able to start becoming real. And it's speaking with Sirius, which is karma, the threefold, and Mercury. How are you communicating with yourself? Speaking to that 12th house of Neptune, and then speaking to the 8th house. Meaning, I'm really comfortable with what I'm really comfortable with. The 8th house is all about transformation, but with the South Node here, it goes, I bet you won't. Because the South Node is everything that you're good at. Really, really good at. But where you stay stagnant and won't grow. So where are you blocking yourself? That's what's being illuminated. So that you can make the change. Get out of your way. Then you have Mercury, again, Mercury the sun, and Chiron, not Chiron, Sirius, which is also speaking with Jupiter, but Jupiter's in shadow. The abundance of the self itself, the identity of who and what you are, who you believe yourself to be, who you think the world sees you as, how you view the world around you, abundantly in shadow, looking at the darker things before it goes retrograde. And remind you, it will be in retrograde until Neptune, and it'll be in retrograde until November. And I was warning you guys of this months ago. When Jupiter goes retrograde, he's going to slide backwards. He's going to slide all the way backwards, taking anybody who's not in their power with him and re-kicking your ass as he enters that 12th house. This is the time to be as real and as raw as you can be. Venus and all of her sensitivity in that 4th house now is questioning Saturn. Your groups, your memberships, and what you're a part of your outer world, your outer friends, people, places, and things. Because are they supporting your goals, dreams, and ambitions? Or are they manipulating you to do theirs? This is about making sure that you are patting your friends on your back and telling them, hey, good job. And, you know, that was a good thing there that you did. That worked out well for you. Even if you don't want to be part of it. But at least being upfront with it. Because this is the time for cutting those cords for people who are manipulators. Who are not in sync with you. Venus is going to show you if they're not in sync. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means their vibration and yours ain't working together. You don't have to necessarily work with others' vibration, but you have to be honest about it. And if you're upfront and honest with those people that are in your outer world, then at least you can find out if you can work together or not. And then you have the complications this week, or the challenges. All week long, you have Saturn, the South Node, Uranus, and that North Node not getting along. Meaning, Saturn is full on being questioned on if it's good for you, if it's not. Are you in your comfort zone, or are you not? Do you know who you are? Do you not? Will you give away your power? Will you allow somebody else to redirect and tell you what your worth and your value is? Or will you rebirth? It's not going to be easy. It's a T-square. It's not meant to be easy. Because it's about finding you. and facing yourself at the most rawest of levels, rubbing yourself dry to the bone and finding out really what is there. You have Ceres and the sun, which is not getting along with Pluto all week. The illumination does not want to hear, though I walk through the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Because parts of what you got to do to get real with you and your world suck. Parts of what you really got to do is in areas where it feels unbearable, but it feels unbearable because that's ego. That's all. The three-dimensional world challenges you to go, will you break the spell? I'm freaking done with this spell. I'm freaking done with this spell. I am my own creator. I will create as I see fit, but I will acknowledge when I am in my own way. And if I have to really get real with myself, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's what you guys all need to do. It's called truly finding out how to love yourself by understanding where you don't. Venus, which is coming up on your inner emotional security and asking you if being submissive is really what's best. And finding your independence or finding your submissiveness, touching the growth of who and what you are, the soul of who and what you are, the vessel, and acknowledging that this is only a moment in time. The heart will go on, even when this world is done. And it is specifically asking that Jupiter and that Chiron, that Jupiter shadow and that Chiron, are you really ready for the cycle? Are you really ready for the new episode? I've been saying the whole time that the guardians of the pole are not making it easy. Those gateways, they are making you fight to get through. Because if you're coming into this higher vibrational energy, it's not that they don't want people, they want you. But they want you to want you. They want you to rise in that vibration. There's so many people in the three-dimensional world that you're going to look out at. And I can tell you, I'll admit it, because of everything that's been going on with Mom and all the government problems I've been having and the help and the trouble I've been having getting her help. There's times where, and I'm a shaman, I'm a healer, where I look out and I'm like, you know what? No wonder the Pleiades don't land yet. No wonder they don't come here, because you don't deserve it. It's not that you don't deserve it, but you won't grow. You won't love you. It's time to show them we're ready to love us. We're ready to let go of what we were taught wrong. But it takes courage. It takes courage. And you got it. I love you. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.